Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Engaged Family Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Steven Dutzman, and this is the official destination where we delve into the finest video games and board games perfect for you and your family. If you're a geeky parent, eager to share gaming moments with your kids, or just hunting for family-friendly game recommendations, you have come to the right place. Let me take a moment to introduce the incredible team that makes this podcast possible. First, we have John Tomlinson, the man behind the curtain.
Hello, hello.
Oh, we got a DeLorean partially built.
Getting there.
And directly above me is Linda Roble, our mistress of magnificence, formerly known as Mom. Not formerly. We didn't change it.
All right, good. I don't need to change my tagline, huh? Hello, everyone.
It would take a lot, and definitely appreciate your fidget craft. Very nice spring-colored blanket. We all like that. And last but not least, my very best friend in the whole wide world, the Princess of Power, Amanda Farrow. How are you?
I do love podcast day.
Podcast night is best night, as I said on social media as I passed things out. So I do have we're going to start with good news, but I'm going to start with some extra good news, and that is that this will be our last podcast without Jeff. He will be back.
Yay!
Turns out, not only did his daughter inspire him to participate in the theater program in their town, but he also was in it and is acting, making his stage debut in Rock of Ages. That will be done by the next podcast episode, so he will be returning, and that's fun. We like that. Turns out he left, and I took the time off too, because all sorts of stuff was happening, so I guess it all worked out. So this episode is really going to be catching up on the last month worth of news, which is going to be a lot. So we're not going to talk about the games we're playing. We're going to kind of put a pause on that, and honestly, I've been playing far too much Baldur's Gate, and we shouldn't be talking about that because it is not a family game. So, we'll talk more about the games and stuff that we've been playing very, very soon. But we did, before we go to our good news, like officially, we did get an audience question, and I want to get it right out of the way. We had a question from our Discord. And that was, what is your favorite ice-themed game? Basically trying to help us beat the heat. And Linda, why don't you go first? Because you have props.
I always have props. It's what I do. So my recommendation is sitting right behind me in the cabinet is Ice Cool. And that is a penguin-themed game where you are flicking the little wooden penguins around the school trying to avoid the hall monitor. So that is my recommendation to beat the heat.
You know what? Ice Cool is such a good game. I'm so bad at it because I don't know how to flick the penguins without hurting my finger. Like, I know there's like supposed to be a way to do it like gently, but I just can't. I lack that skill. Amanda, what is your favorite ice-themed game?
Icewind Dale. That is my very favorite ice-themed game.
You and your role-playing games.
Listen, I love me some classic role-playing games, and those old gold box games, they hit me in just the right place. I would be extremely happy for an Icewind Dale 2, 3? Icewind Dale 3? Yeah.
Oh man, wouldn't that be so good?
It would be legitimately so excellent, especially with the updated rules to Dungeons and Dragons. Can you imagine Icewind Dale on modern D&D? It would be beautiful.
Larry, and get to it. I know you're not gonna.
Oh, they're definitely not gonna. They don't want to work with wizards again, but I would be so thrilled if Skeleton Key was working on it. That's one of the internal studios over at Wizards of the Coast. That would be super cool.
Great. Why not? Let's do it, guys.
Let's do it. Hire me.
And have Amanda do it. Why don't you? Amanda, just do the whole thing.
You don't need me. On it. I don't need anybody else. I can just do it on myself.
Making video games is easy, right? You just ask ChatGPT for the code, right? That's all you got to do. My favorite ice themed game. Listen, guys, it's SSX, and it's not even close.
Oh, it's tricky though.
It is kind of. Oh.
Kind of tricky though. Hey.
Can I
Always
just
gotta
be?
get my one.
That was really good. That was really good. SSX is a snow because it's really wild. Like late '90s, early 2000s, we were just all snowboarding and skateboarding. That's like all we
Here
did.
we were. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Linda wasn't. She avoided this. But like Linda, you would have just been snowboarding or snowboarding or skateboarding. You had no other choices. And the SSX games are so I would never have played them if I didn't work at a Blockbuster Video, and they kept going out, and I was like, all right, well, I have to play this, and I was hooked. Like,
It's good.
it's just so dumb, so good. Look up a video, everybody, if you don't know what I'm talking about. The soundtrack alone for some of those SSX games is so good. So those are our favorite ice-themed games. Man, I gotta play. I'm gonna play.
We got
Oh,
one
go
more.
ahead.
You missed one.
One more.
You missed
Oh.
one.
John, what do you got? I'm sorry, my bad.
So I was gonna do a board game, but as you said, SSX, it occurred to me
It's
the
tricky.
the Microsoft ski game that was free with Microsoft. Yeah, and if you hit a thing
I
like
remember that one.
like Eddie would run on, yeah,
Wait,
That was
what?
a thing.
yeah,
Microsoft skiing?
yeah.
Okay,
It was like
Microsoft ski game. Oh, ski free?
Ski
Is that what's-
free. That's it. I think
Okay,
so.
hold on. I'm gonna share it. Hold on. Give me.
Yeah. If you like hit a pole, like a Yeti would come out and eat you, or something
That's what
like
Mega
that.
Mom's saying. She's saying yes.
Yep.
That's it. The Yeti would eat
So I
you.
just threw it in here. Yeah, the Yeti would eat you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, this thing is. I threw it up on the chat here or
Oh
on the
my.
screen. This is the graphics are certainly a little austere. While we're talking about skiing games, though, how about Slalom on the NES?
For real.
Better
Yeah.
than it has any right to be. And why is it not on Nintendo Switch Online? I'm gonna throw a fit. I'm gonna write letters is what I'm gonna do. So that's a lot of great. We got a lot of winter themed games. You know, I actually did a Google to see what other winter themed games the internet thinks. And you know what one? I'm gonna give it to it is God of War Ragnarok, because that game does take place in the
Oh, yeah.
snow. Quite a bit of it.
That's true.
I'll allow
You're right,
it.
Bestie.
I'm going to allow this one largely because I can. Because there are no ice game cops, right? So those are our ice-themed games of the week. Thank you very much to our Discord commenter for that. I definitely dig that. I can't check our Discord to see if anybody else asked questions, so we will just go without it for now. We'll save the other questions for later if we happen to have any. So
That was the only one.
That was the only one. Great, perfect. So let's talk about good news. There's just so much news that is so negative, and so we just try to reject that here. And what we're trying to do is we're letting the other podcasts talk about the discourse. You know, the news is out there. If you want to hear bad news about video game companies, you can listen to Virtual Economy. But for us, we like to talk about stuff that makes us unironically happy and excited. And I certainly have something that I want to talk about, but I want you guys to go. So, John, Linda, Amanda, who wants to go first with their good news of the week?
I mean, I can go first if you'd like.
Go ahead.
Since no one else is jumping up. So now that I'm getting into like the summer groove, being on break from school and with the kids in their high gear for karate, I'm finally back to starting to make board game content again for TikTok and Instagram. So it's very refreshing to get back into that. So I was just working on a TikTok today, an unboxing of a game that was sent to me, and just trying to get back into that groove. So that's my good news. I'm back creating board game content for TikTok.
That is great news. Love to see that. And you know what? I'm excited about that too, but I'm not going to let that be my good news because I have other stuff. Amanda, what about you?
What about me? What was my good news for this week? Oh gosh. Gabriel's turning 13 in a couple days.
Oh my.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty good news. That's pretty good. I'm
mean-
having feelings about it, but it's good news.
I mean, achievement unlocked. You know, another
Yeah.
teenager.
That makes it 2. And I freshly have a 20-year-old.
Oh, that's right. Well, I mean,
Oh.
that makes your third teenager.
Yeah.
But yes, you're only
This
going to
makes my
have 2
third.
simultaneous. I get that.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it. I was like, wait a minute. I know.
It's wild.
Wait a minute. I was like, you broke my math brain for a second. I'm like, oh, no, I get it. We're talking about current teenagers. Understood.
Current teenagers, yeah.
But, okay. Well, happy birthday to Gabe. Very excited for that. Happy 13th. John, what about you?
So, since I got married back in May, Tessa Violet was our wedding song, and she does a song called Kitchen Song. So we went to Boston to go see her not this past Saturday before. And she did her first album in total. And then she also performed newer songs as well as Kitchen Song. And let us know that it's actually the original title was Bathroom Song, which was very funny. But yeah, it's a very sweet song about, you know, when you're going to the kitchen, leave the door open a crack. So, because I just like to hear you laughing and like talking to each other. But it was really about going to the bathroom. So, but yeah, very cute. So yeah, and I got to take a selfie in front of the new office, which is right down the street from the Prudential Center, right by Berkeley. So
Awesome.
I'm right there in Boston. So that's it.
I mean, that's really cool news. I mean, very, very cool stuff. Every time, I always feel like every time I should not go after John is what I should do. You know what I mean? Like I should maybe like, I don't know. I mean, even if I go first, he comes in and he's just like, check out this really cool like life thing I did. Listen, the thing that is making me unironically happy right now is the trailer for Red 1. Have either of the 3 of you guys seen the trailer for Red 1?
I don't think
Now, what if I told you that Red 1 is a Christmas movie?
Oh, I heard
starring
about this. Yep.
The Rock, Chris Evans, and J.K. Simmons. And Bonnie
You just broke Amanda.
and Bonnie Hunt.
Great.
Which is important to me for funny reasons. So that's the elevator pitch. Here's what's really happening is J.K. Simmons plays like a super jacked Santa because he's Red 1, right?
Sure.
Red 1, and he gets kidnapped, and The Rock is like his elf bodyguard who has to save because of course he doesn't. He has to save him.
Oh my.
And in order to save him, they need like a master, like tracker, like guy. And that guy they go find is Chris Evans. And so it's The Rock and Chris Evans on like a rescue mission to save J.K. Simmons, who is Santa, who's been kidnapped.
Dang.
I saw the trailer.
Fly on the wall for that pitch.
Someone like I don't even know how I saw it. Someone like mentioned it in like a random Facebook comment, and I was like, "What, a Christmas movie with The Rock? No way!" And then I looked it up, and it immediately became my most anticipated movie of the year, and that is taking into account Deadpool and Wolverine and. There's nothing else matters in theaters except for this for me. Maybe Moana 2 competes with it. But like
That's not coming out this year though.
I thought it was this year.
Oh wait, no, the animated one, yeah.
The animated one is in like November. But like
the live
I got
action.
real excited. I got real excited. So Mega Mom in the chat saying that Jevador's gonna lose his mind. Yeah, it's absolutely the stupidest thing I have ever heard. But I'm gonna see it anyway. So yeah, that's it. That is my good news. Because it's been a while since I've seen a trailer for a movie that made me that excited. Like the Deadpool Wolverine stuff. I'm like, yeah, it looks fine. I'll watch it.
Yeah, that's like a known quantity.
Yeah, this caught me off guard and got me really excited. Speaking of things that caught me off guard, Linda's suggestion for Mom's playlist this week, because Linda like texted me and I was doing work this week and I was like, oh wait, we should definitely do Mom's playlist stuff. And she's like, hey, I have like 3 ideas, which is more ideas than I had. So Linda, what did you settle on for Mom's playlist?
So I settled on talking about some games that can help prevent the summer slide. And what the summer slide is the academic backslide of skills that children deal with every year with summer break. So those 2+ months off, skills are lost over that. So this is just to minimize the loss of skills over that break. So I actually wrote an article about this last year, and I'm actually going to drop that in the chat here on Discord so you can share it on, because I don't have the authority to share it on the stream.
I will do it.
So yep, I figured. So what I did is I have 5 tips on the article, but I'm going to just highlight 3 of those and give a few game suggestions. So tip number 1 that I wanted to share with everybody. Oops, I just closed my screen that had my list. There we go. When you're picking games to play with your kids that you want to use as a tool to support academic skills, keep it easy. And so many games can support academic skills. If cards have any kind of reading on them, that's reinforcing reading. If there's problem solving, if there's math, if there's science in it, whatever, there's a lot of things out there that you can kind of cross over into the skills that children need in school. So keep it easy because you want them to be engaged with it. Tip number 2, keep it high interest, especially if you're picking a content like a science or a coding. Keep it something they're interested in because you want them to want to play. So with any of these things, if you're having to drag them to the table and they're not wanting to come play, it defeats the point of it. You want it to be fun and engaging. And that's my 3rd tip. Keep it fun. You want to pick things that they want to play. You want to pick times where it's fun. If it's after dinner and everybody's just tired because they've been in the pool all day or at the beach, that's not the time to play a game if they're too tired to be engaged. You have to pick your time, keep it something that's going to be fun. So I want to go and give suggestions for each of these. So the first one, for keeping it easy, some easy games that you might want to reach for. One of them is Zeus on the Loose. And this one is actually a great one for math, because what you have to do as you're playing cards down, you're trying to get the discard pile, which is referred to as Mount Olympus, since it is Greek god themed. You're trying to get that pile to add up to 100. That will end the game. And of course, there's things that will make the number go up, make the number go down. So you have to do basic addition and subtraction, but also hold the number in your head, which can be tricky to have that as you're playing the game. Or to support reading, something that's really easy is a party game from Game Right called Chonky Donkey. And we found with this one, and there's another one I'm going to showcase in a few minutes, games like these that have just like a sentence or two or a phrase are great for those readers that are still developing their skills. So, 1st, 2nd grade, maybe some kindergartners, it depends on the kids, but it's not a lot of text, but it's still text they want to read because it's funny. So it's motivating and it's easy. So this is easy to learn, easy to read. So those are nice. Those 2 are nice to keep it easy. Getting into the high interest, this is where you can tap into what they really like. So if they really like dinosaurs or different, just the cover on this, but if they just like science, this is evolution, the beginning. So this one is great because it pulls in different animals and developing animals. But if they love dinosaurs, Dinosaur Tea Party, there's like so many things that are themed, you could tap into their interest. If they're more into a different flavor of science, more nature, you could do something that's a little heavier, but if they're into it, photosynthesis. This one is one of my favorites. Even though it's not a super light game, it's not super heavy, but it's a little bit more involved. But if it's engaging, they'll want to play. So it's finding what fits them just right. And then for keep it fun, This was a huge help for my youngest when he was learning to read. What Do You Mean Family Edition? Same thing. There's a little bit of text. And I remember us sitting around the table and he was working so hard to read through the words by himself, being independent. And we just let him go. And he had so much fun figuring out these funny sentences. So that was something that really was motivating. It really kept it fun for him. And then another game that's more math, I've recommended this a million times, Sky Joe. This one, the kids keep reaching for. We've got family and friends reaching for it a lot when they want something fun and easy. It's so much fun. It's simple. It checks all the boxes. It does all the things because it's simple, it's fun, it's engaging. So this is a great one and portable, small box.
Can I interrupt you very briefly? Yep. Can we play Sky Joe this weekend during EFG Con?
Absolutely.
Because it occurred to me...
I've had to get another copy. This in the box package because I had replaced it.
Listen, I was just thinking, because the four of us are all going to be there.
Okay.
So, we could. Well, I figure we should play it, and we could put the pictures in our Skyjo review, which would be good for SEO.
Okay, we can definitely do that. I have a few more things. We'll chat later of other things. Well, no, for our session this weekend, but that was my short, quick and easy 3 out of 5 tips to help use board games to help prevent the summer slide. If you want more, check out my article. There's a few more tips, and there's links to other articles with lots of game recommendations. So,
by the way, I have a Kickstarter game that I'll be bringing on Saturday. That gets delivered on Thursday.
Awesome.
Oh, that's exciting.
An older reprint that you guys are gonna like. I think we covered it, but
we will definitely talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. So, thank you very much for Mom's Playlist. We love this stuff. So, let's just get into the news because there is a lot of stuff to talk about. As most folks that are kind of in and around the video game industry know, June used to be E3 month. E3 is gone. We know that. This is old news. Amanda and I talked about it at length. I'm sure, and Amanda and Mike talked about it on Virtual Economy at length. And so but we all knew when E3 went away that something was going to fill the demand eventually. It was just going to be a question of what it was. And it turns out that it's just a week of everyone just going nuts around when E3 would have been. So, for those of us that didn't go to the show, it's kind of not all that different. So, it's spread out a little bit more. It's not one weekend of insanity. It's like a week of nuts. So, what I thought we would do is, and it's more waiting to find out when does Nintendo and Sony go. Are they going to be part of it? Are they going to play? Are they going to take their ball and go home, etc.? Turns out that if you extend it a couple of weeks, we get everybody. And so guess what happens? You take 2 weeks off of podcasting, you get them all. So I thought we would go, and I figured, honestly, let's just do what I'm obviously going to do and just start with Nintendo. Because Nintendo did have their big summer June Direct that they announced and said very plainly, we're going to talk about the games coming out for the end of 2024, and we are not going to talk about the Switch successor, which I love that they have started doing that so that people will just shut up. And you know what? Everybody came in with very measured predictions, and lots of people were like, oh, except for the people that are nuts. But the people that are just kind of there, we measured, it's the end of the Switch's life cycle. They're not really going to have anything. And we were wrong, everybody. That turns out Nintendo just makes games now. It's amazing what happens when you take two consoles and you squish them together. So I thought I'd just go through the list of some of the stuff. They had a bunch of random things that we can leave alone. But I figured I'd just go right from beginning to end of the show and just go with it. And I'll start with the first Mario and Luigi role-playing game in 9 years. Mario and Luigi Brothership.
Dang.
When I saw, what's really funny is I watched this Nintendo Direct at my parents' house with my mom and dad. My mom was recovering from hip surgery, so she was there. Hey, can I get a moderator to ban this guy?
Hold on. I'm in.
Thanks, Manda. So,
I got
Manda,
you.
Manda is gonna whack this guy in the head with a whisk. She's just gonna channel Odie Vera and destroy them. So, I was watching this with my mom and dad, and so they don't know that Mario does anything other than jump and hit his head on bricks. So this was a completely alien experience to them. I'm like, oh no, they make role-playing games like Final Fantasy, but with Mario and Luigi. And like explaining why was like a brain puzzle that I was not quite ready for. But man, I'm really excited. It's coming out later on this year. This is such a treat. Oh, thanks for the sub, Ready Player Mama. I promise I didn't get the troll to come in to get you to look at Twitch just to do that.
I got you.
That would have been so next level, though.
It would have been, seriously.
So, Manda and John, what do you guys think? I mean, is this exciting to you guys? Am I by myself?
I mean, it's not that it's not exciting, I guess. It's that I need more information.
Yeah.
I suppose. I think that's kind of where I'm at, is even though you and I are often unmitigated and unrestrained hype machines, I've gotten really hyped about games and then been super disappointed. So I'm trying a new thing where I temper my expectations.
Whoa.
Ooh.
I know.
Whoa, tempering expectations.
I know.
Man. Okay, you know
I
what?
know.
That's fair.
In this economy, even like I
Oh,
don't
you're a
even know.
mitigated hype monster.
You are a mitigated
I am, exactly. I am mitigated now
Okay.
by myself.
Okay.
I did it to myself.
What
So,
about
like-
you, John? Oh, go ahead, Amanda.
No, it's fine. It's just like interesting,
Yeah.
but I need more information.
Yeah, it's definitely cool looking. The title is very cute. Like Brothership.
Because they're on
And
a boat.
hopefully
Linda.
there's- Yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes more sense.
Yeah. And I do like my RPGs, but like I also wish it was gonna be cheaper at some point, and unfortunately it's a Nintendo game, so it's gonna be like $60 until 5 years from now. Yeah.
Seriously.
It's just
Okay.
like I got so much to play anyway. And we're gonna talk about more games that I'm gonna want to play anyway.
Yeah, I
So,
mean,
yeah.
I think what's interesting about Nintendo having so many games now is that now you just don't got to play them all, right? Like,
Yeah.
it used to be when they were putting out like one game a year, you know, when it was like on the Wii U,
Well,
and
when
it was
the
like,
Switch
well,
dropped, the
yeah.
Switch was just like, oh, Snipper Clips, Shovel Knight, Zelda, and that was it for like months.
I mean, let's be honest.
So, yeah.
Breath of the Wild, Snipper
you
Clips,
were eating-
but Breath of the Wild, Snipper Clips, and Shovel
Yeah.
Knight is a pretty good.
Yeah.
Any lineup that includes Breath of the Wild,
Approach.
Shovel Knight, I'm
Yeah.
not going to hate on. So,
Oh no.
But now we are at the point where Nintendo has figured out how to make games for this thing, and you're right, you just don't have to play everything. I will 100% be playing this game. I love Mario and Luigi RPGs. I love their dumb stuff, which is really funny because it's a timing-based combat system, so it's a lot of hitting the button at the right time, and I'm terrible at that. But man, these games are just so funny. Can't wait. I'm actually redoing my whole desk setup so that I have a Switch dock right there, so I can start playing Switch here.
Yeah, and
because-
I still haven't beat Wonder yet. So like that's what I'm saying.
Well, it's because you're bad at platformers, John.
It's a fact.
I just said it. I said someone was bad at a game. Anyway, so that's the first thing they showed us, and it was great. Let's talk about one of the last things, not the very last. We'll save that for later because I want to wait until my wife is sitting down for me to talk about that game, because I want it to have at least a little bit of delay before she comes up. But Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
A
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda game with Zelda in it, where not only with Zelda in it, but
Huge.
where Zelda is the playable character. Amanda, I have deliberately not spoken about this game with you because I wanted to hear your thoughts, and then I want to hear Linda's thoughts too because she nodded, which means she knew that I was going to talk about it. Amanda, expound.
So it has been, we've never had this. We've had versions of Zelda, right, that we could play as. And we've had Zelda playable in some parts of some games.
Mhm.
But we've never had a Legend of Zelda game where it wasn't specifically about Link's journey. It was about Zelda as this plot point, so to speak. It wasn't like she was her own actualized human being in a lot of, or her own actualized character, right? She wasn't her own person. And what this gives us is a window into Zelda's experiences from the player's perspective, and not just as like a need object, right? Like, I need to go and get Zelda, I need to save Zelda, I need to take care of Zelda. But no, Zelda's here. She's going to do it her damn self. And
She's gonna save Link.
she's going to save Link. We're flipping the script in a way that seems really holistic. And I mean, I'm personally excited because a good friend of mine actually wrote Zelda for the game, and she's an exceptional writer, like one of my very favorites that works in games. So I am beyond psyched because my friend wrote Zelda, and that is so cool. And that means that Zelda is going to be powerful, she is going to be self-actualized, and she's going to have one hell of a story arc. So personally, this might be the Zelda game for me. I think this might be the Zelda game I've been waiting for since Ocarina of Time.
Yep.
It's a long time. It's a long time.
Yeah. See, it's been a long time since I've really enjoyed a Legend of Zelda game. Like, those games have not really ever been for me. That's okay. Like, it's not a big deal. But I loved Ocarina of Time, despite the Water Temple. Just to be clear, no one likes the Water Temple in Ocarina of Time. And then I played Link Between Worlds, which I really enjoyed. And I liked Twilight Princess, but nothing's had that pull for me for many, many years. I think this might be the one. So.
Listen, I'm super excited to hear it.
Like, I'm getting like all misty thinking about it. It's like, this is the game I've been waiting for.
I'm super excited. I mean, listen, I'm excited. I'm glad I didn't hear that, and I got to hear it here the first time. It's very cool. Linda,
I got
you nod, because that means this broke through to you without me having to tell you about it. So tell me what your thought, because we know you guys are a Zelda house. How are the boys? I mean, how are the boys feeling about this? Are they excited or what?
So the older one doesn't play quite as much. It's the younger one, and he actually was just down here, and I popped my head over, and while I was muted, I said, "What do you think about a new Zelda game where Zelda's the playable character?" And his eyes just bugged because apparently he hadn't heard the news yet.
Oh,
so just from his reaction of his eyes just getting wide with excitement, and he's like, "Yes."
I would like to go to there, Mom.
Yep.
Yes.
I would like that. Please put that on my list.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, between that one or the Mario and Luigi Brothership, it's like, if we have to pick one, not even a question. Like, he is a humongous Zelda fan, and I think he will really enjoy the change of perspective.
Yeah, I think so.
Whether
I think it'll be great.
or not.
my one question, because to give some additional flavor to this for the folks listening, you know, this is a Legend of Zelda. You know, it's Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. It is about Zelda rescuing Link. She fights more or less using her brain, her wisdom, and summoning echoes of objects and monsters that she finds in the world. And that's kind of, at least it appears to be, based on what they've told us, kind of replacing some of the other core mechanics, which means Zelda is not fighting with a sword, etc., you know, not going to be doing what Link did. So is the fact that and I ask this genuinely, is the fact that she is using this different of a mechanic from normal Zelda, like sword slashy, shield blocky, archery stuff, is that okay? I don't have a better word. Is it cool? I want to hear John, but I want to hear Amanda's thoughts on this too.
Yes, so I think because it's magic that she's using, it's okay. As long as she's just not making tables, and that's it. Like, from what I've seen, there's more that she could spawn, so it's not going to be as bad as it sounds. That's it.
All right, what about you?
Well,
What about you, Amanda? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's necessary,
Yeah.
quite frankly. She's a different character. She's going to
Yeah.
have her own style. She's going to have the way in which she moves in the world, right? So it can't be Link, but with a Zelda skin. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Exactly.
It has to be Zelda as she is, again, actualized in this world.
Okay.
However that
Agreed.
may be, however they end up designing her, you know, like I feel like that flavor of uniquity is going to be super important to actually sell the experience to the player to get that immersion right.
okay.
At least for me.
Okay. Sounds good to me. I'm in. I mean, I was in anyway. Let's be honest. I was going to play this.
I know you were.
The idea is, the only thing I want is I'd love for them to show us a little bit more, just because I would like that there be something that she can do other than just summoning the echoes. And I'm sure that there will be, you know. Wouldn't it be funny if they gave her a hook shot and nobody else got one ever again?
Yeah.
That actually would be pretty awesome if she
Dang.
was like, no, hook shots are for princesses now. That would be so good.
That would be really, really incredible and very funny.
So listen, that's coming out later on this year. There are so many people really excited about this. Amanda is not the first person that I've seen
Apparently,
gushing about
I
it.
am too. Like, what?
Yeah.
I know. This is a lot of people are
Oh
excited.
no, I was going to temper my expectations. I just said that.
Oh,
You don't have to.
fail.
No, it's okay. It's
So
okay.
bad at this.
It's okay to mitigate about some things. So, speaking about unmitigated fandoms, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, as invented in the South Park World of Warcraft episode, is currently on Apple Arcade. I'm not even kidding.
It is.
It was there. It's currently on Apple Arcade, and it was released there exclusively. And a lot of people were like, wow, why isn't this on the Switch? And we're like, because it's an exclusivity deal. That's how these things work. Well, guess what? It's coming to Switch, and it's going to sell a gajillion copies because it's Hello Kitty on the Switch. And so if you know anyone that likes Hello Kitty and liked Animal Crossing or Animal Crossing-like games, then get prepared to see a lot of Hello Kitty on their Switch. There's really nothing around it. I have played this game. It is not as good as Animal Crossing, but the fact that it is Hello Kitty...
But it scratches that itch,
It
people.
scratches the itch.
It really does.
Yeah, but also the fact that it has Hello Kitty and the Hello Kitty cast of characters, like, you know, like, you got to put the weight on the scale somewhere, and it's like, if it's not quite as good, it's kind of like Dreamlight Valley. It's not quite as good as Animal Crossing, but, like, you know...
But, like, still scratches that
But
itch.
like, but like, you know, Sebastian's there, like, doing stuff, and you swim in a money bin, so it's like, you know, whatever. So
We'll forgive it.
So it makes the difference. So there it is, Hello Kitty Island Adventure. It's coming out later this year, early next year. I don't think we have a release date for it yet, but be ready, everybody. Next, the Marvel vs. Capcom fighting game collection. I'm just going to say this. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is coming to the Nintendo Switch. This collection is absolutely bonkers. And
Hot damn.
if you know a fighting game fan that doesn't know about this, tell them they'll blow up. It's going to be wild. You get to take them for a ride, as it were. That's a reference, and if you don't get that reference, don't worry about it. Next, we got a new Super Mario Party game, and it turns out people really like Super Mario Party games because they keep putting them out, and even when people say they're bad, they all sell gajillions of copies. This one has new maps, and it's kind of got some like a Fall Guys kind of level mode to it, where it's like 20 players, and the worst players get booted. Like, am I crazy in saying that they put a Battle Royale mode in Super Mario Party?
Kind of how it felt. And I'm not, like, I should be mad about it because I don't like it when everything is Battle Royale, but also it looks kind of great. And I think that it's going to be utter chaos.
I mean, if it's just
need it.
If it's just Fall Guys, but make it Mario Party, like, doesn't that just eat Fall Guys lunch? I don't know.
I mean, not really, because, like, Fall Guys is its own thing. It is, like, honestly, if you've never played Fall Guys, it is a great game. But it's also, like, oh, man, I hate to say this, but it's almost at the point where it's run its course, right? We need a new one.
Well, I mean, the reality being, you know, games as a service doesn't mean forever. Games as a service means until it's done. So maybe, you know, maybe. But anyway, Super Mario Party Jamboree also coming out later this year, and this is gonna be played at so many houses over the holidays, so many extended families doing crazy nonsense, and Waluigi's in it, so...
Waluigi.
Last thing, and oh goodness, my wife is not in where she was sitting, so she could come out of anywhere. I gotta be careful where I talk about it. Guys, they showed gameplay of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
What?
I had to whisper it. I mean, listen, we don't know anything about it other than it's a Metroid Prime game. But like it didn't even look particularly good because it was just a thing. But I mean, it's cool. What I quietly hope is that this was the subtle, like, that's what Switch games are going to be called when on the next Switch. It's going to be like Super Mario Brothers Wonder Beyond. That's what I would like. Lord knows that one IGN podcast would be very upset about it. So, and man, it'd be really hard to watch kind of funny content while they're talking about all this, as they just yell Beyond every single time they talk about one of these games. But at the same time, I might laugh about it. So, Metroid Prime 4 was announced like a billion years ago, and then they restarted. She came in the room, and that's why I had to do it. So it was announced they restarted development, and now it's been announced it is coming in 2025. So next year will be Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Amanda, can I come to your house and play it?
Yeah, you can come to my house because you love it.
All right, I'll come. I'll come. But I'll rotate houses between Amanda's and Linda's. Well, we're gonna talk about me going to Amanda's house for another game in a little bit. So that's Nintendo. Me and your partner Mike already have plans next year. We'll talk about it in a moment. So
neat.
Next is so that's Nintendo. Lots of cool stuff, very cool things. Next is Sony, and there's really only two games. Most of Sony's stuff was Headshot Central or Axe Shot Central, because I did talk about God of War. But so, can we talk briefly about Lego Horizon Adventures, which is coming to PS5, PC, and Nintendo Switch? Amanda,
it looks ridiculous.
Why are they putting a PlayStation game on Nintendo?
Well, I mean, from a business perspective, widening the addressable market, quite frankly, that's where their people are. Right? If we're thinking about where the fan base is for Lego games, where do you think they are? Do you think that they're going to be on PlayStation? Probably not. Maybe a PlayStation 4, but certainly not a PlayStation 5, because that price point is pretty exclusion. It's pretty exclusive, right? Like you're going to exclude a lot of people with the new generation. So I guess the current generation, because we've had it now for 4 years, and there have been 0 price drops. 0.
Yep.
Just price hikes, which is great. And by great, I mean yikes. So yeah, I mean, like, if I were sitting in Sony's position, the best thing to do in order to get more people to be like, well, I want to play the real Horizon. Like, where do I play it? As it turns out, play it on PC, play it on PlayStation. That's pretty cool.
Sure.
Widening that addressable market. It's kind of like it's sort of like a transmedia thing in a lot of ways too, because they've moved into VR, right? Call of the Wild, and that went fairly well for them in terms of VR sales. If anyone can call VR sales anything these days, that's a completely different conversation.
Wow.
I have thoughts on the VR market. That's gonna be yikes for me, dog. But yeah, I think it just makes good sense. It's good business sense anyway. But I'm not wearing my business hat right now, so I can't talk about it properly.
That's fine. Okay, that's fine. John. Well, first of all, Linda, you saw the Lego Horizon thing. We posted it in the EFG community. Mm-hmm. And I know you guys are Horizon fans in that house. Does anyone care about this game in your house?
I don't think so, because my youngest might, because he played Horizon. My husband played Horizon, but he's not going to be as into the Lego. I don't know. I think this one's like lukewarm. There's not a lot of excitement.
I respect that.
I'm going to be honest. I love me some Horizon because giant robot dinosaurs. Who wouldn't? However, this game has nothing for me. I don't want to play it. It looks funny, and like I This is gonna sound really scary. I'm actually kind of more excited for the Funko Pop game that I don't ever want to play than I am for Lego Horizon Adventures. Like, this is just a nothing burger to me. If for nothing else, because Aloy dressed up in a hot dog costume, I'm out. John, here's my question. Tell me I'm crazy here. This is my theory, right? So, like, all right, if we get a Lego game based on video games that get Lego sets, does that mean maybe since they're doing a Lego Legend of Zelda set, does that mean we get a Lego Zelda game?
I cannot comment nor deny about that, but you do know that we have a whole Fortnite partnership. So I kind of think that this should have just been like Fortnite DLC or a skin or a level in Lego Fortnite.
Yeah.
Instead of going off and trying to produce a whole game, because
Speak it.
It would have been
Quite
cheaper.
frankly.
yeah, Horizon's a very fun game and everything. The second game was kind of like over the top and long because it turned into an Ubisoft game. Like,
Wow.
just icons everywhere. Like, I stopped playing after a week and then picked it up 6 months later. But like, yeah, it's interesting, but like our Lego games are synonymous with fun, so they're just always gonna go on. So like,
Yeah.
this will get a price drop, and then it'll be sometime next year. It'll be like in every kid's library of games to play. So
Yeah, that's true. This is one of those games that'll eventually be on sale for $15 on a Black Friday, and I'll be like, all right, well, I guess I'll give it a try.
yeah.
So, but now on the other side, they announced a new full big real Astro Bot game coming on September 5th,
Oh yeah.
and that
They're
game
dead.
is giving me like big Super Mario Odyssey, but you're a cute little robot vibes. And I'm pretty excited to play a really cool 3D platformer that like really is like an homage to PlayStation history. And it looks so cute. You fly around on a controller. Linda, have you guys seen any of these? You guys have seen these trailers, no? All right, well, I'm going to have to show you this weekend.
Okay.
Because I feel like this is an Eli game. 1,000%. I feel like this is a him game. He doesn't know it yet, but I feel like this is a him game. This is definitely, my middle son is all in on this. He actually, for a while, was trying to get good enough at Astro Bot to speed run it. So he was like learning like the tricks. He was like, and eventually they're like, okay, all right, they're getting a little wild with some of these sequence breaks, but like, man, he's pretty good at these video games. So I suspect that the PlayStation 5 might find its way upstairs into his desk area now that he has a little television that he can play it on. So that's Sony. They obviously announced other things, and some of those other things looked great. Just most of them rated M because they were shooting people or stabbing people, etc. So if you're interested in that stuff, cool. Every other podcast on Earth probably already covered it. Next, we're going to go to Ubisoft and talk about literally the one thing we can talk about. And I just want to say, Star Wars Outlaws looks cool because there's an axolotl dog.
I need it.
That has radar.
I need
which
it.
is a little like.
That's so cool.
This game is gonna be good, right? Like, this just seems like a game that is. Yeah, man, look at Amanda. Amanda, you're supposed to be mitigating. You're supposed to be mitigating.
Darn it. I nodded.
Okay.
That's all I did.
Okay.
I was being
Nodded
good.
a little hard there.
All right. You know what? I'll allow it. Listen, Star Wars Outlaws is coming out end of the summer. It's an August game. And I think it's a good time. It's a really good time for it. The only thing going against it for me is, realistically, is that it is coming out after the release of World of Warcraft, The War Within. Within, like, that first month is going to be really tough for me, which is why, unfortunately, Secret of Mana Legends or whatever, like the Mana game that's coming out, is coming out 3 days after World of Warcraft The War Within. Sorry, buddy, you're going to have to wait for a Golden Week sale. So, Star Wars Outlaws, if you do not know about this game, go look some of it up. The cinematic stuff is great. It's the Han Solo game we always wanted, with a female protagonist and an axolotl dog. You get reputation with crime factions, and depending on which crime faction you side with, you get to go to different places on different planets. It's a whole wretched hive of scum and villainy and laser guns. And an axolotl dog with radar. So think about it. So, and then I want to talk briefly about the other game. So that's Ubisoft. Electronic Arts did not... Okay, EA did two things that are really important this summer. One, they gave us more information about Dragon Age. Dragon Age looks real good. That is not for us. But I know I'm going to play it. It definitely is for Amanda. I can't wait for that at all. But, and they also, if you're a college football fan, college NCAA 25, which is coming out in a couple of weeks, is just a straight up role playing game. Okay, it's just a straight up RPG about college football. So if you like, my oldest son wants to play it because of the Dynasty mode. It has coaching talent trees. That's all I want to say. So, but that's all EA did. But other things, Amanda. Now, you're mitigating now, but they announced Civilization 7. And we don't even know anything about it. And Amanda's like rearranging her life to stream it. Amanda, I'm going to forgive you some unmitigated hype. Civilization 7. Here's the question, though, and this was brought up in the EFG community when we talked about it. That market is crowded now. There's a lot of other games that are out there, Humankind, whatever. What is Civ 7 gonna do to stand out? Or can Civ 7 stand out by just being more civvy?
At that part.
Just gonna beat them at their own game?
I mean, like, they made the game, right? They've been doing it for 35 years at this point. They are the best in the business for a good reason. Okay. As somebody who has played a lot of these Civ-likes over the years, including Humankind, there are a couple of them that are coming out this year that I'm like, I see you. I'm gonna check that out. That looks good. I'm into it. I could be convinced. But what Civ has more than anything is that historical twist that is really, really compelling in comparison to a lot of other Civ-likes that are like, okay, well, they kind of go somewhere with the history. No, these dorks at Firaxis, and I know this specifically because I know their narrative director on Civ 7, Kat Manning, you are a dork, and I love you. There, I said it. I would say that to Kat's face. But they're dorks. They are history nerds. And that's part of what makes Civ so compelling from a narrative perspective. As far as the gameplay is concerned, what Civ 7 could do right out of the gate is give us a full Civ 6 experience, but make it modern. So what I mean by that is Civ 6, when it launched, was not a complete game, right? It was a decent base game, same kind of thing that they did for Civ 5. It got better as the DLC came out, as the expansions came out, as the DLC came out. You could buy additional leaders, all that good stuff. They could launch a Civ 6 within Civ 7 and just give us a more modern experience, because we have not had a new Civ game since, please hold, 2016. So it's been 8 years. There's a lot of things that have changed within the zeitgeist of 4X games. I want to see that, and I want to see their take on it, and that is going to be the way that they stand out. They are the behemoth in the space for a reason. They know it best. They do it best. So that is my de-hyped version, because otherwise I was going to screech. I didn't, though.
So I just want to say that I have more time on my hands during the day a lot, and there is a co-streaming feature on Twitch. Amanda, I don't know if you know that I've been being pitched a lot. So I'm just saying that maybe Like I know you had another streaming partner, but I'm just saying, we could maybe stream a little Civilization.
I'm always down for streaming Civ. I got Vivian into Civ 6 recently, and it sort of ate her brain, which is fabulous.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's pretty great. So that's Civilization 7. We're going to find out more in August. They did say that there's going to be a gameplay reveal in August, which I think is kind of useful, because I want to know more. We know it's not coming out this year. It's going to be next year. But I really would like to know, like, what's the twist, right? Like, there's got to be something they're adding. They definitely added stuff in Civ 6, so I'm interested to see what they add, what they take away, things like that. Obviously, what I would be really interested to see is if they, and I was just thinking about what I really think adding in the layer of, like, the digital space, which is kind of layered over the top of the world, like its own influence map, like having a digital victory as opposed to a cultural, economic, military, etc. I think that would be kind of interesting, but also kind of dark all at the same time. So, yeah, who knows? I'm super interested. I mean, listen, even if it's just Civilization 6, but they make it prettier, and like, that sounds great, because I love the level of detail in those games, especially at the weird scale. So that is, I forgive you, Amanda. You may be unmitigated hype monster about Civ 7, as long as you forgive me for being an unmitigated hype monster about Dynasty Warriors Origins, which is a Dynasty
so that's
Warrior
the game that you're coming to my house to play.
Yes, I am going to. It's a MUSOU game.
Did you know that I actually really enjoyed the original Dynasty Warriors game?
I did, because you've told it to me.
But that's it.
You've
it's the
told
only one I like.
So, Mega Mom in the chat saying Dynasty Warriors for life. Listen, so what's wild is when I saw the Omega logo across the screen, I was like, oh my god, this is a Dynasty Warriors game. And I was watching it with my kids, and they were like, what are you even talking about? And I lost my mind, guys. Okay, Dynasty Warriors Origins, what's interesting about this is you are creating your own hero, which I don't really like, if I'm being honest. However, I'm going to play the heck out of this game because I like fighting thousands of dudes, and so I'm going to do it. So it's a new MUSOU game. We don't know anything about it other than you make a silent protagonist and you run around and fight in Three Kingdoms era China and do it loosely with in all caps Comic Sans adaptation of a period in Chinese history, and I can't wait. And I'm just going to be one guy, a one-man army, and fight thousands of dudes. I would imagine that the PS5 could put a lot of dudes on the screen, is all I'm saying.
Be a lot of dudes on that screen, buddy.
There's just going to be many dudes, seriously. I cannot wait. So, yeah, I can't wait. And the last thing, the very, very last thing, the people that did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge announced Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, which is basically just Shredder's Revenge, but with Power Rangers. And probably no Method Man in the soundtrack, but, I'm okay with that. I got so incredibly hyped for this, I can't even control myself. Because I love beat-em-ups and I love Power Rangers. It's perfect for me. So, guys, we went a little over time. So I appreciate everybody. I wanted to get to the Civ 7, the Dynasty Warriors Origins, and then I wanted to plug a little Power Rangers game. And I didn't know that Mega Mom was a fellow Dynasty Warriors enjoyer. So, John, show us your progress on the DeLorean.
Ew.
That's pretty good, bud. All right. Oh, it lights up. You got the light up stuff going?
Yeah,
wait, is that light up or is that a reflector?
No, that's the flux capacitor.
Is it actually lighting up or is it just reflecting off the light?
Light.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a light brick. Yeah.
Okay, man, or Linda, show us the blanket. Oh my gosh, it's so springy.
That's very springy. I don't have anything I was working on.
That's all right.
Here's my notebook.
All right, we love it. I was fidgeting with my takethis.org worry stone thing that was bought for me.
Shield of Hope?
My shield of hope, that's right. So I'm not alone, but it is dangerous to go alone, so I took this with me. So, guys, we did it. We made it through one more episode. We are back. So, thank you very much, everybody who is in the chat for listening, and thank you, everybody who is listening online. Programming note, we will be back on Monday for Season 2 of the Coils of Destiny. This coming weekend is EFG Con, where this group and the rest of the staff will be getting together to make some content. We may or may not be making some cool videos to help promote Coils of Destiny.
Ooh.
And maybe doing, like, you know, some recording to talk about it
I'll
and
have
all
to put
that.
my face on then, folks.
You may have to.
I was planning
So-
on showing up like a gremlin, but
we
guess
don't
not.
we don't have to do that kind of video.
no, it's fine. I'll just look cute. It's cool.
I think you always look cute.
Come on
But
now.
Yeah.
I love
so
you
but
guys.
I understand. I'm glad I mentioned it so that you didn't get up mad at me if I was like, hey, guess what? You're gonna be on video, and you're like, I'll be right back. I gotta go to the mall. Anyway.
That is exactly what would have happened there. You do know me very well.
I do. I'm not stupid. So everybody, I just play one on TV. So everybody have a great night. We will be back next week for Season 2 of the Coils of Destiny. It's a good time to hop in if you haven't been watching it. They made it to Blackwater, and wait. Oh, do you guys want to see something?
Always.
Is there going to be something to see?
Yeah, I'm gonna put
Tell me
something up on.
everything.
I have a map of a certain location
Ooh.
that you guys have yet to see.
You
And
just
I-
have to
Wiley.
log in.
So, who wants to see spoilers of the map of? We can show you the map of Blackwater. Let me drag it over, and that, my friends, is Blackwater.
That is awesome.
The dark areas are areas that were very on fire. The light areas are areas that were
Not as on fire.
affected by fire, and everything else is the fire didn't get there yet. So
Right.
you guys get to explore that. I do want to say, from a scale perspective, this is most of Season 2 will be taking place inside Blackwater, so it's a pretty big city. So it'll be that is incredibly difficult to get through by nature of the fact that all those walls, many of the entrances and exits between the different layers have been damaged and or destroyed. So it's going to be an interesting little voyage. So if you want to see our plucky adventurers adventuring through that, you can join us on Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. And the best part is, starting with this season, on the off Mondays, I'm going to play the reruns. So if you missed
Oh,
it,
dang. Let's do it.
if you missed
Great.
it, you can watch the rerun the next week. And we're going to do the same thing with the podcast, too. So, everybody, have yourself a great night. We will see y'all in 2 weeks for the podcast, 1 week for the thing. Everybody, have a great night. And don't forget to get your family game on. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.